What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're all doing well today. Today I'm really excited to bring you another knife mod video. So if you're seeing this, I'm doing a brand new intro, but it should be on the tail end from the unboxing of my DLT trading exclusive Demko AD20.5. As you can see here, this has a really nice coated AUS 10A blade steel. You can see out on the tip there, I've used it just a teeny bit since I unboxed it. Couldn't help but carry this guy a little bit. I just think the color combo is really cool. Having said that, what am I doing? I just unboxed this knife on the video to you, but for me, several weeks have passed since I picked this guy up. What are we going to be installing? I'm going to start, because I'm cool like that, with dessert first. Let's go ahead and dive into this package so you can see what is about to happen. I am going to go ahead and put this here with the hope that I can do a screenshot after to do a comparison. So on the left will be the before, and when we're done with this video, you'll get the after. So what is in the box? What is in the package? So I flipped over twice and slipped right off his address, and I'm not trying to give his address out, so I just want to say my man Carbodize over there hooked me up yet again, and we have another set of scales that we're going to be installing on this AD20.5. Let's get them out of the bag and have a real good look at them. I'm not going to spend too much time drooling over them in the package or just out of the package, but instead we're going to go ahead and get these installed. I'll talk a little bit about what I had done differently as well. I'm going to throw up on the screen because again I'm drawing a blank. I think these are the Arctic, Fat Carbon Arctic or something to that degree. I'll throw it up on the screen. This time though, on my last set I have the clip point, which is different. It's not the shark's foot, and I have the uncoated versus the coated, so I have one of each. I did get the purple haze last time, and I got him to do the jimping. This time I went with smooth scales instead, and I'm really excited to see what these are going to come out like. All right, we're going to be doing quite the bit of surgery. The other thing that I have as well is I have a Lynch Northwest deep carry pocket clip from my man Casey over there on Instagram. I got the bright blue to try to bring out the bright blue color in there. He does include a set of screws, but I'm going to try to reuse the black ones just like I did on the last one, and hopefully that'll work. He gave me a nice cool little sticker there. I'll leave that over here in case you want to check out his deep carry pocket clip for the AD20.5. Nice little note. Thank you for your support, JD. I'm going to move this box to the side. I'm going to use this box to store all the stock parts. But we're not done. We still have more swag to throw on this sweet DLT trading exclusive AD20.5 from Demko. I have a set of the especially made Rocket Glide bearings from Skiff. These are the Rocket Glide rings from Skiff. These are the 6mm, 1mm with a 19 ball count. These are made specifically for your Demko AD20.5. So if you're checking out the video and you want a set of Skiffs, they're like 12 bucks, dude. Totally worth it. Ceramic bearings and phosphor bond washers. All right, let's go ahead and get into this package, because if I recall, these are sealed up because he anodizes them and then seals them. All right, let's see here. That should be enough to get it started. Oh, did I miss? Oh, I was scared to cut through the mat. Let's try to put just a little bit more pressure down on the plastic. Yeah, now it's snagging. I definitely felt that. And it did go through good. Oh, it did go through, but it didn't affect the mat. All right. So we'll get this out the way. We'll put the clip up here and the... Wait, where's the parts? Yeah, we'll put the clip off here to the side and the parts. You can't really see it too well over there, but it's probably best for me to have them out of the way. I'm going to leave the skiffs in here and put them in the supply bin. We'll put this in the supply bin as well. And temporarily, we're going to move the fat carbon scales made by my man Carbodize on Instagram. I'm going to keep repeating that because I get asked so many times where I got these scales from. All right, since we're replacing everything anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I have my tools linked down in the description below. These are Weehaw bits. I like the long Weehaw driver for my big hands. I love this Kershaw driver. It feels better made than the Weehaw driver, but again, the bits are fantastic. Pivot's going to be the last thing coming out. We're going to start with the pocket clip, and just for a little bit of safety, we're going to go ahead and close that out. All right, so I don't really like the deep carry. It's not a deep carry. That's part of the problem. That's why I don't like this thing. I don't like this pocket clip because it is not deep carry. It leaves a ton of knife sticking out of the pocket clip. What I actually do like about it though is the duckbill on it is super low profile, and so is the knife. We're going to save these screws over here in the parts bin, if I can get them out, so that I know that these belong to the pocket clip when it gets reinstalled. And just to help myself keep track of everything, I'm just going to throw this right back in the bag. Sorry for my OCD there. My man OCD for EDC will probably appreciate that though. Alright, so the next thing that you want to do here, carefully removing the scales from both sides. I like to do one side at a time to try to prevent that spring from coming out. So this side is captive. The show side, wait, did I do that right? Yeah, that's right, show side, I remembered, is where the pivot screw is. So I'm going to loosen that up just 3 turns to get it started, and we're going to go ahead and take care of this side. And while we're doing this side, I am going to take care of all the bearings from this side, because the captive pivot has to come out from the other side. So I'm going to take care of everything in one shot. So this thing is coming all the way down. With that pivot screw loose, you should be safe to go ahead and remove the remainder of the body screws. So we're going to stick the body screws right here to keep track of them for the right hand side. Not that it matters, but again, a little bit of OCD coming into play there. And normally I fast forward through these, but I thought someone out there might enjoy this particular perspective. And really quick, one thing that I wanted to talk about, and you can't really see it too well here, one of the things about Demko's design that I don't like is the fact that right here, you actually, that pokes out and you feel that. And not only do you feel it, but when you go to use it, if you've been flipping it a lot or it has a lot of dust and debris on it, that gets all over the finger. So one of the things that I asked what I asked Spencer to do is try to actually just bring this part of the cut back just a hint so that you can't see it. So hopefully, and it's going to be hard this way, maybe this way with the light hitting it. Yeah, hopefully you can see how much of that sticks out. So we're going to check that with these scales that I asked him to change that about. And that is not his design. That is definitely 100% the way the factory scales. They're exactly cut the same, and it's a little bit harder to see with the black, but you can see that on there. All right, so let's go ahead and carefully remove this. I'm going to keep some pressure down because I want to remove it slowly because I don't want that spring to back out. So with everything out of the way, you can go ahead and remove this scale. All right. A little bit of oil on the scale, not too bad. I'm just going to set them to the side temporarily. The harder part is actually getting this to release because everything's locked up tight and it's going to want to come flying apart. So what I have found is if you compress the spring and just jiggle it up, it'll come loose just enough, and just be careful with your spring not to let that jump out. I actually didn't mean to move that quickly. It just happened to move fast on me. What I like to do is just keep my thumb over top of it and use the back spacer to push it down and pull it back so that I can lift everything out of place and then let everything move slowly forward. I'm just going to go ahead and take this out because I don't want anything jumping out without my control. So there we go. It's sitting down. All right. So what I want you to see here, what did I do with the, there they are, they're underneath all the junk. Wanted you to see the difference in the bearings and how they seat. You see the ring, actually this will be really good. I'm going to end up losing this, I know it. You see how the ring is not perfectly centered? It's closer to the center of the pivot, and further away from the bottom, that's because these float on top of the blade and inside their holster in the knife's pivot itself. So I'm going to set these over here. They're a little grimy, so I'm going to clean it all off. All right, with my finger covering the spring, I'm just going to clean all this out. Actually, I'm just going to take it all apart. I've said this like 3 times now. I'm just going to take it all apart. So cover everything up, pull everything up. There we go. The spring hit my finger. We're just going to move everything out of the way. I'm sorry, guys. I was going to try to show you how to do this without removing it, but at this point, I just want everything out of the way so I can just do my thing. All right. Oh my gosh, the tolerances on that backspacer are super tight, super duper tight. All right. Woo! Don't fall off the table, whatever you do. All right. These are D-shaped as well, which is what keeps them from moving when you disassemble. Let's check Carbidized backspacer and see if he leaves them D-shaped. No, his are perfectly round, so keep that in mind when you go to replace it, because the D-shape in here is right here, and then on the back side. So Carbidized is perfectly round, so you're going to have to keep that in mind, because you're going to have to keep some pressure on the opposite side when you're working on it. All right, let's go ahead and get all this stuff off. Where is my bit? This would be the last one here to come off. All right. So we'll do the right side first. We'll give everything a bit of a cleaning. This magnet is picking up everything. All right, so that D-shape pivot's out. This guy should come right off. Scales are out of the way. Let's give everything a wipe down. Wipe out, wipe down. Whoa. I'm going to put some fresh oil on there. You can see the D shape here faces the front of the blade, so keep that in mind when you put your pivot back together. I do recommend just a little bit of oil on the edge of the frame right there, because the spring slides back and forth on that, and it actually will improve your action on the spring as well, just to put just a little bit of oil in there. You don't need to go crazy. I'm sorry, I'm sliding out of the seat and I bumped the tripod. I'm not even sure when I did that. I'm so hardcore looking straight down, I can't even tell you. All right, let's check out the right side install. You at least get to see in real time how nice of a job he does with the scale and how well it fits. Such a good fit. Go ahead and get that pivot in here as well while you're looking at the D shape for that captive pivot side, and lay that down. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall this screw. I don't believe it has the D shape in it, but let me check it before I try to screw anything down. Does it spin freely? Where am I at? Sorry, a little bit of a hard time. Yeah, so it spins freely, so really isn't going to matter where it goes. Matter of fact, wait, this is the, am I right? This is the pocket clip side. Do I have that right? I think so. We'll go ahead and get this reinstalled, since he's still here, right? He's still hanging out. He wants to go back home. He wants to go to his home. Oops. I knew that was going to happen. Big hands, small screws don't go together very well. I'm just trying to get it, whoops, tight enough. There we go. So that is in there tight. That's what she said. All right, let's get everything oiled up real quick. We'll start with the installation of the rocket glides. Am I getting oil? I can't even see because the microphone's in the way. There we go. Got some oil. I can see some reflection now. All right, and then we're just gonna put, just like I said, just a little bit here. You don't have to go crazy. Just a little bit really does help your action, and it's not enough to really get a whole bunch of pocket lint on it, which is always nice. Make sure you do keep your knives cleaned and oiled. Oh, I had it. There we go. Alright, let's get these guys out here. There we go. We'll put this over here so I can put the old ones in there. Drop your new one down. Let me show you what the clearance looks like. So the clearance, where it tightens, is actually directly around the pivot. So even though there's more clearance on the outside, it's not like the other one where it can move freely. This is a much tighter fit around the pivot, so it actually sits in there much better. Next, you want to go ahead and reinstall your spring. I found the easiest way to do this is to set all of this down and then bring the spring over top. Put your index finger over top of it, blocking the camera so you can't see what I'm doing, and then compress it and push it down. Now, all of that is in place. Next thing that I would do is go ahead and bring, oh, I installed it upside down. Just kidding. We're going to bring the spring back out. Let's bring the spring out. Nope. Bring it up. Up, 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 up. All right, I have the spring in my hand. Put it right side up. Make sure your gripping is out. I totally was looking so hard at the spring, I wasn't paying attention, and I almost broke my own rules. So what I'm doing is keeping this in place with my index finger so it doesn't pop up, and I'm compressing down with this finger, and then I'm kind of working it back and forth to make sure it's seated nicely, that it's not bound up. Everything is working pretty good. Everything looks and feels really good. So now I'm going to pull back the pressure with it covered and drop the blade down to make sure that, hold on, whoa, he's trying to come out, guys. He's trying to resist, trying to make it difficult. All right, same thing. We're going to go ahead, make sure that's seated, and push that back in. With that covered, now we're going to bring back the spring and drop the knife down. Put it in the straight out position so everything's locked nice and tight. Alright, you see the spring's trying to bind up. Just be careful with that. Now what you want to do is you kind of want to throw the spring over top of you want to drop the rocket glide over the pivot. I might need to stand up for this. I can't really see the oil and I don't want to put too much. Just going to keep going into a circle. Is it coming out? Really hard to see on the black. I feel like I got it though. Alright, I'm going to keep that spring covered just because I don't want it to pop out and try to find it in the garage. I'd be really upset if I couldn't finish this video. Alright, so because you see how tight that fits, you're good to go on this side. Go ahead and bring your liner over and make sure, oh, I almost forgot about these guys. Make sure these are in here as well. Bring your liner over. The liner is going to hold these in place so that you can get these screws started, so that you don't have to worry about that swinging anymore. Alright, just carefully remove your finger, make sure that looks okay, and drop everything into place. The hardest part is going to be getting the pivot. Alright, so I think everything's locked up. Pivot feels like it's secure. You should be almost done. Now you can go ahead, throw the last part, the last scale over top. I would recommend starting the pivot screw first, so kind of going reverse, but don't tighten it down. Just get it slightly snug so that you can get your body screws going. Alright, this is just enough to keep it from moving. I would recommend doing the opposite of the pocket clip side. Hopefully this magnet will pick it up and not move it. So you should be able to tighten this all the way down. Yep, so it tightened. The other side's nice and tight. Now you should be able to remove your hand. Everything should be in here secure. Let's go ahead, and I didn't realize when I started this, guys, this thing is going to blend into the background. What I'll do once this is installed, I'll just move the mat out really quick out of the way, and we can just stop and stare at our work today. Alright, so that side is spinning freely because that's the pocket clip side. You're going to have to keep that from moving around. Oh, that really does not want to screw down. It is spinning, spinning, spinning. All right, so what I'm gonna do, since I've got it mostly secure, I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze down and tighten as much as I can. There we go. Checking the centering real quick, making sure everything feels good. All right, so it is definitely favoring the show side. This needs to come together way more. All right, let's see what that looks like. All right, it looks pretty centered. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this together. I'm going to do it in the closed position. Let's get the pocket clip over here. We're going to need the T8s. T6s, I'm sorry. T10 in the pivot, T6s on everything else. Sorry, I paused because I was looking for where the hell I put the screws for this thing. All right, I'm gonna be really careful because I'm not trying to scratch up my anodized coating. Let's see here. All right, this side tightened up. Let's see if this will stop spinning now. All right, nice and tight, snug. Don't over tighten these. You don't want to strip the liners where these are installed. You just want them snug. That's why they put so many screws on here, because if you snug them all down, it's not going to move. Oh, I like the smooth back spacer. Oh, this was loose. Snug. I feel like I did this one already. Yep, snug. Check the lining, the centering out. Dead center. Do I have any blade play? Just a hint. So we got to go down a little bit tighter here. How about now? Just a hint. Do small interval, guys. Don't go crazy. That's almost locked up solid. Woo! Centering is good. Just a little bit more. I'm going really small turns. Not feeling any wobble. All right, let me get this cleaned up. I'm going to skip to where I remove the mat, okay? So you're going to see this skip over in just a second. All right, we're back. Mat's cleared up. Everything's cleaned up. Everything's reassembled. What do you think? Let's stop and stare in silence for a minute. What do you think, guys? How does it look? I do want to really quick bring out my purple haze variant with the clip point and see if you guys can tell the difference. So if you look really closely at these two variants, you see it helps when I bring it under the light. My light's on the left. You see how you can see the tip here, but you can't see, you can see a little bit of gap here on the black one. You see that difference? If you look at the liner, you can see the extra material he left for me. And you notice how it's not as pronounced. It's very subtle. It's not as pronounced at the finger guard. That's what I asked him to do a little bit different for me. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Would you have left it with the OD green for the DLT trading exclusive? One of the drivers behind that is I wasn't really a fan of the Greifery and how the Greifery felt. So I really was interested in something else, and I loved the carbon fiber on the Demko AD20.5 because it was rigid. It felt so strong, but it kept everything very lightweight. I do wish I had a little bit more purple in my purple haze, but I do like the fact that the faded anodized deep carry pocket clip from Lynch Northwest kind of helps pull the purple out when it hits the lighting a certain way. So really cool. I think that looks really good. I like the purple. It's Arctic Storm. I did look it up in between during intermission. I looked it up. It is Arctic Storm. Man, I just love the way that looks. I also thought it would look, because I knew the blue was going to have much more pop. It looked more consistent with all the examples I had seen with the blue coming out. So I thought it was going to look really good against that DLT black coated shark's foot blade. I just thought that was really going to look good. Would you have done the purple haze? Would you have done, got quite a few here, guys. Would you have done the Arctic Storm? Would you have done Jungle Wear? They have a different red one, and I don't know what it's called. I think it's something lava or something like that. But I wanted to do at least one a little bit different from the traditional fat carbon, so I got the dark matter for the Shaman. Let me know what you think. Which one is your favorite combination? Don't worry about the knife. Which one of these scales is your favorite? Which one would you have picked? If you were doing this mod, if you were doing it for whatever knife, it doesn't have to be for the Demko AD20.5. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for tuning in with me today. I appreciate your support. If you could hit the bell, turn that sucker to all so you get alerts when anything drops in the future. You can choose which ones you watch, but if you do the all, YouTube will let you know when I drop new content. Thanks for supporting me. I really appreciate it. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a fantastic week. Stay sharp. Until next time, guys. Peace.